about what do we do when we change, when we purposefully change. But it's not in the obtainment of those things that we actually have that change that we want, that happiness that we want. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, you might have seen something a little different. So, I have been tinkering around a bit, as you can tell. New setup. Don't know if this is going to be the thing. New sort of kind of going about this, but we'll see. So let me just bring this out. So, hi. So, my week has been a bit interesting. I've spent a lot of time sort of thinking about, the past year and my personal goals and what I achieved and what I didn't achieve. And I was looking over my video from last week and I came to like a couple conclusions. Number one, I felt like though it was so motivating, it didn't really reflect who I am and like how this conversation would be of like the two of us just hanging out. I had sort of gotten away from what I really wanted to do on this channel. So, hey, hi, changing it up. And in looking in some of the comments of that video, there was one comment that sort of got me. Someone was talking about how they always change, that they spent their whole life changing, and that they just never get anything out of it. And that thought sort of swirled in my head a bit about what do we do when we change, when we purposefully change. What are we actually looking for? Like, we set these goals out and we want to, what are we actually searching for? And the answer to that is very, very easy and simple. We just want to be happy. We feel if we take these changes and once we obtain these changes that we would be happy. If we look a certain way, if we had that certain item, if we just did that one thing every day, we would be happy. So often at the beginning of the year, we think about things that we want to obtain, things that we want to have. Those things are very much in like the materialistic world. Like, I want that house. I want that relationship. I want that piece of clothing. But it's not in the obtainment of those things that we actually have that change that we want, that happiness that we want. It's actually, now here's a good thing, it's actually in pursuit of those things. It's in the pursuit of those, oh no. Yeah. For a minute there, I didn't think my mic was on. Um, it's in the pursuit of obtaining those things that is how we derived our happiness. Now, I know some of you are like, look, me trying to get to $1 million is like hard. It is grueling. I am giving up so much stuff. But think about it. I'm even just thinking about like the grueling hard work that I would have to do to get $100. And look at me, I am smiling. It is that pursuit, it is that grind of doing that thing that we actually find our happiness. Okay, so let's say you are not finding the pursuit enjoyable, you know. So maybe you're pursuing this in a, what would the word I want to say? In a non-authentic way. Yeah, that sounds really technical. A non-authentic way. First, when you're pursuing your goal, you have to know your why. Yeah, your why. Yeah, everybody talks about you got to know why you're going after your goal. But your why in obtaining your goal, the why you want to obtain that thing, can't be just for the obtainment. It has to be for a bigger purpose, a bigger reason. It could be for the betterment of your family. It can be what I find that is really good for me is that I'm reaching for this goal to learn something about myself. To prove that something I used to think about myself is not true. Like, for example, one year I wanted to prove that I was actually pretty. So I did things like I played around with makeup for a year, as obviously you can see, I don't wear makeup right now, but I played with makeup. I tried different styles, did those things, and I felt pretty. And as I sort of come into my own, I found that I didn't need the makeup, I didn't need the clothes. I felt pretty just on my own. And I didn't need that external adoration for myself to feel pretty. So knowing this why that comes from within you is one of the key factors when you go after your goal, that you can still have the fun even though you are grinding and you're like, can I please get done with this? It's how your soul says you're moving, you're going forward. The second thing that I find is really good in finding that happiness while you go towards your goal is being surrounded by people who believe in you and who are going after similar goals. Now, right now, I live in the hood. So um, not everybody in the hood is looking for the same things. Okay, maybe I'm not in the hood, but come on. The people around me are more for the day to day. So, how am I supposed to find like spiritual enrichment? You find spiritual enrichment with, you can go to your preferred religious institution. Right now, I have not found mine yet. Um, but I've also joined communities online, watch YouTube videos like you're doing right now, joined groups. I actually joined a class of other people who are very spiritually minded. Though we are all of different religions, there is a commonality between us. See, changing your environment doesn't have to mean physically. It can be digitally. And as much as we are living in this digital world, maybe that's all we need to change our digital footprint. If you are looking for people to connect with, if you're looking for to make like $1 million, so you're following people who are trying to tell you how they made their $1 million, from the old fashioned people who say, hey, snail's place, come on, just put in that money, to the ultra risk based, hey, I put all my money in that one thing and that worked for me. So changing your digital community can do a lot. And you know, these algorithms, once you change your digital community, the algorithm will react, will give you other people to fill that void that you're trying to fill. This third way that we can hold this happiness that we can have in pursuing our goal is to follow your intuition. Now, the way I think of intuition may be different than the way you do. Maybe I should say more like divine intervention or divine guidance. Because I feel like our intuition, our true intuition, is God, the universe, trying to tell us to do something. For the last year, actually, it was my big thing for last year, is for me to reconnect with that divine power. When I was younger, I had this really great relationship with God. Like, we were like this, yo. We were just had conversations, and like, I would ask, hey, I want this thing. And God would be like, nah, that ain't for you. And I'm like, why? And then, bam, he would show me, and I'd be like, oh, good looking out. And keep moving. So, in my journey last year of sort of having this reconnection with God, with the universe, I was going after a goal. And in the middle of going after the goal, God said, oh, you need to take a left here. And I'm like, that's away from my goal. What do you mean I gotta take a left here? And he's like, no, 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 no. You gotta keep going. This left is what you need to do first before you can get where you want to. And so I did what all people do. I ignored it. Yeah. And for about 6 months, me and God were like, he's like, you need to take that left. And I'm like, but I don't want to take that left. But you need to take the left. And I'm like, what? And then I said, okay, God, if I don't make my goal, I'll take that left at the beginning of next year. And guess what happened? I didn't reach my goal. So I said, okay, all right, I'll take the left-hand turn. In fact, I took that left-hand turn earlier this week, and all of a sudden, things started getting easier for me. All of a sudden, things started coming in. I said, oh, I should have taken that left-hand turn back then. And I'm sure God was like, you should have done that. So, in conclusion, I guess, to find that happiness, it is not the obtainment of the goal that actually changes you. It is the pursuit of getting it. It is the learning you have while you go after that goal. I hope you like this video. Let me know if you like this new setup, this new way of talking to y'all and whatnot. And oh, I haven't even told you who I am. For those of you who haven't seen me on this channel, my name's Alana, and I give tips and insight on how to live a wonderful life. So, I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.